Hello, everybody. I'm in here late tonight. I just got done editing the final parts of the news for Friday, and I had a little bit of time. I'm not real sleepy yet. I should be in bed, but I don't. Didn't want to go right away, so anyway, I thought, well, I'll check my phone, and I got a few calls here, and I thought that I might do the phone call. I haven't done one of those for a while.
Hi, Skip. I just want to let you know that I just watched your last video. Yes, I'm a Patreon member. It was outstanding as always. I did want to talk to you privately about some of the things you brought up. I don't want to leave my name. I will leave my number. Please don't broadcast it. Anyway, Beth.
Well, I'm going to cut it off there because I'm afraid she's going to give a phone number. On these phone calls, I've said it before, I'm not going to call you back. I ain't got time for that. But you said you're a Patreon member. Next time we have a members lunch or a members get together, we've had, I want to say 2 in the last 6 weeks, or maybe 3. I can't really remember. But and we're going to have another one coming up. I'm going to have something I'm going to do where I can integrate Jose's coffee wagon. You know, so everybody can kind of see what he's got, what it tastes like, what it looks like, how he packages it. He usually brings everything. And, of course, he sells coffee when he shows up. And then, of course, he'll have a tip jar out there when he makes you a cup of coffee. But I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking possibly, no, don't take my word for this. I'm thinking possibly about doing a breakfast at my house. I'll take care of all of it. You guys won't have to pay a thing. It'll be something simple that I can cook. It'll be something like maybe scrambled eggs, pancakes, and sausage. And then Jose will be here with his coffee wagon. And we'll just have to scatter you around the house. Just grab yourself a seat wherever you can find one. Out in the lanai, in the living room, in the kitchen. Might even sit outside on the front porch. There's a few chairs out there. We'll just sit wherever and we'll just talk and exchange ideas. And you can tell me what you like or don't like. So anyway, that's on my mind. So I don't know exactly when or where because the holidays are coming up. And when the holidays come around, I really don't like scheduling Patreon lunches or members lunches and things like that because the holidays get in the way. People travel. They're not here. You understand. So it's probably going to be, and I'm just guessing here, it's probably going to be well after the first of the year before we do anything major like that at my house or somebody else's house. I know we're going to do something at another member's house. You know, Brad. I won't say his last name. Brad, he's on Discord a lot. You guys, if you're a Patreon member, you should be on Discord. If you're not on Discord, I've sent you links. If you need another one, let me know because the first link only lasts 7 days and then it automatically expires. You should be on Discord because these are all the things that we announce on Discord. The next lunch, where we're at, what time. People give suggestions on Discord about things and I check in once in a while. So yeah, Discord's really where the action's at. So anyway, I appreciate the call. And next time I see you or whatever, roaming around a square or whatever, say, hey, stupid, I got a question for you. I mean, come over and see me. Let's see what else we got.
Hey, Skip. My name's Art, and my wife and I, we live in Greenwood, Indiana, but we also just recently purchased a home down in the Villages, in the village of Newell. Hey, I was watching your other channel and was seeing that you had a Coachman Concord and having problems with a generator. I had that exact same RV with the exact same problems of the generator. And what I was told by Owens or Cummins is that the fuel is being sucked from the gas tank in the back to the generator. And they felt that sometimes was too far away. And I had problems with it shutting off. I was so frustrated with it. We ended up putting a new fuel pump and everything into it. And I saw your one video where it shut off on you. You had the door open up. What they end up doing for me is they end up cutting a hole in that door, putting a screen in there, painting it the same color as the side of the RV, and it was perfect. And I never had another problem with it. But the second option they were going to do is they were going to put an inline fuel pump in that fuel line coming from the fuel tank to the generator because they said the distance, if the fuel pump's weak or whatever, the fuel that it's not getting enough fuel. So try those two things if you're driving down the road and it's super hot, and it's dying on you, it wasn't getting enough air. And I went round and round with the coachman. I went round and round with the generator people, and I had all the big wigs on it. And that was the problem, was it wasn't getting enough air. Now, as the coach got older, it would probably need an inline pump. But the guys, we were on our way to California, and we stopped at a dealer in Salt Lake City, and they said that they've been putting inline fuel pumps in that coach. So that might be an option you may want to consider, because it's sucking fuel from the fuel tank, and that they said that there's a footage or a drop at that fuel pump. Now, the generator people says that's fine, but the people that work on it that are certified to work on that generator said that that's starving for fuel. So that might be an option you may want to consider. Enjoy your shows. I watch them both. And we just, like I said, we just recently purchased a home in the village. We'll be coming back down in September. And and keep up the good work. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Well, thanks for the compliment about the channels. We work very hard here on the channels. The problems with the generators you're talking about is all true. I have seen a lot of videos on that, but here's how I kind of diagnosed it. So far, the last long trip we made all the way up to North Dakota and back home, perfect. Everything's running just fine, except one little glitch, and I'll tell you real quick what that was. But I was just like, it's a 2011 RV. There's right at 500 and some hours on the generator, and it has never given me a problem. It's always run perfect. Everything's been fine, except one time. It was putting out power. We had it checked. It was putting out power, but for some reason, the power wasn't getting inside the RV. Well, I took it up to a guy that I know, Wayne. You guys probably know him. And within 15 minutes of being there, he already had it diagnosed. He's done so many of these, he just pretty much knows where to go. And it ended up being a junction box where the wires for the RV connect with the wires that come out of the generator. They use little twisty ties to hold the wires together, and of course they got hot and they melted and fell apart. When they fell apart, the wires came apart, and that's where the disconnect was. And we took care of that real quick, cheap and easy, so I got that taken care of. So then that's when it started acting funny, and well, long after that. It wasn't right after that. It was like months after that's when it just quit running for some reason. And the first thing I thought was fuel. I mean, I've seen so many of these videos, I thought fuel. And then quickly in my mind, I'm thinking carburetor, because these RVs set a lot in storage lots, or at least mine does. Ethanol gas messes up the carburetors inside, and you literally have to take the carburetor apart most of the time, or just replace the carburetor. The carburetor is a special carburetor for Cummins, and if you buy it and put it on, it's a little tricky. And I don't want to get into all that. I kept messing with it, and then, I watched a couple other videos, and they were talking about, I changed the fuel filter. That's the second thing, you go to is a fuel filter. You always start with the cheapest thing first and work your way up to the most expensive, because a lot of the times it's a simple thing like a fuel filter. It's clogged up, and then, that's the cheapest thing. So I put that in there, and started it up, and just like always, it'd run for, I don't know how long. You guys watched the video. I've done forgot what the video said. And by the way, thanks for watching my RV channel. It got stolen real quick. If you're watching this, we started a new RV channel. I'm putting new stuff on, and I could use all the subscribers that I can get, because I lost everything. The guy stole the channel. I don't have the subscribers anymore. I don't have anything. So I'm starting over. I got a few videos on there. Some of the older videos I captured, and I put some of them on there to get the channel going. It's called Skip and Sue RV Travels. So go there and subscribe to it. That'd help out a lot. Just diagnosing things piece at a time. It'd been running great all this time, thinking about it getting hot, because it was hot when we started having trouble with it, but it's been hot before. It's 2011. And I've had it in hot weather before, and it always run fine. So I got thinking, well, it can't be the air circulation in there, because if it was, it had been a problem a long time ago, and it wasn't. So I kind of disregarded that. And then, of course, I started checking other things, and everything checked out just fine. Spark plugs were fine. Everything was fine. And then fuel filter was the next. I replaced that, started it up. It'd run for, I don't even remember now. You guys saw the video. I'll say 15 minutes it'd run, 20 minutes if that, and then it'd start spitting and sputtering and just quit running, which is a common problem with a lot of those Onan generators for one reason or another. So now we know it's not the fuel filter. Well, and then there was a test a guy told me to do to see if the fuel pump was working. He said, when you turn it on, do you hear it priming? Yes, I do hear it priming. Does it sound loud and strong? Well, after he said that, I thought, you know what? Inside the camper, when you prime it, you can hear it, and you get used to that sound, the loudness of it. And I did notice after he said that, I went in there and I went to start it, to check it out again. I hit that primer button. I don't seem to be as loud as it was before, now that I think about it. And so he said, okay, we're going to do another test. Take the fuel line off of the carburetor. And he said, then hit the primer button and see if it's spitting out gas pretty consistent and at a somewhat of a pressure, you know. And so I done that. Well, gas was coming out, but not like I think it should have. It was just barely flowing out. So the way the fuel was coming out, I'm thinking the generator's burning the gas faster than this fuel supply is getting new gas in there. So he said, you got a fuel pump problem. He said, that'd be my next guess. He said, I'd replace that fuel pump. Well, I'm big on putting in OEM parts. I just like sticking with OEM parts. But we were getting ready to do some traveling, I think, and I needed to get a fuel pump. And I had never taken this fuel pump out before, had no idea what to do or how to do, as you saw in the video. And so anyway, I got the one that everybody was buying on Amazon, and I'm sure it's not a factory spec OEM generator, but it worked. And so I got the old fuel pump out, put the new fuel pump in, started it up. I let it run for 2 or 3 hours. I was over there, and then I went over there like a day or two later, started it up again. I let it run for 2 or 3 hours again. It run fine. That didn't do it. So I thought, well, that's it. Well, and then I went to go somewhere, taking Scooter home or something. I can't remember what it was. And the generator wouldn't start. It cranked and cranked and cranked, and it just wouldn't start. Long and short of that one is, it ended up being a bad spark plug. I've never had a bad spark plug in my life in anything I've ever owned. And that was my first experience of that. Put a new spark plug in it fired right up, and it worked fine. Well, and then getting to the North Dakota trip, we're leaving. Everything's working fine. Generator's running fine. We're going down the highway. It was like 116 degrees out in the southern part of Georgia on the highway. Not air temperature, ground temperature. Air temperature is probably 95, 98-ish, somewhere in that area. But it's hot. You know how it is when you get into Atlantic traffic. It's even hotter because you can't move. And it just got to the point it wouldn't work. The generator was running, but it wasn't putting out enough to keep the air conditioner going. I mean, when the roof air conditioner would come on, you just hear it. It was really struggling. I thought, man, there's something wrong. And I was so mad at that time because I had so many problems with this Onan generator. You know, I bought that portable suitcase generator just for that reason, because I'm to the point I don't trust it anymore. So I went to start up the portable generator when we were sitting at a parking lot or something, rest area or something, to get the air conditioner going. And it started, and I plugged the camper into it because it's got a 30 amp plug on it. And I went to plug the camper into it, and nothing. It wouldn't start the air conditioner. Now I'm thinking, damn it, there's got to be something wrong here. So I called Wayne. He was out in California. I told him what was going on. He said, well, we have to figure out if it's the generator or is it your air conditioner. I said, Wayne, it's a brand new air conditioner. You installed it. He said, that don't mean it's any good. And he's right. So he said, go to a campground for the night. And he says, and just plug it in, see how it works. So I went to a campground. Matter of fact, it just happened to be not too far from where I was at. And I went to this campground, got a spot for the night. I hooked it up. And because by this time I'm just frustrated. So I took a hot shower, Sue made something to eat or whatever, and I laid down in bed and watched a little TV, fell asleep. I slept all night. I'm almost embarrassed to say that, but I slept all night. Got up the next day, the air conditioner still working. It worked all night. I mean, everything run perfect. So I went out and I unplugged the camper from the pedestal, and when I done that, I seen a little spark came out from underneath the plug, the 30 amp plug that's on my camper. So I took that plug apart, and inside you have, how many wires was it? Three wires or 4 wires? You have a ground, and then you have a black, and then you have a red, maybe it's 4 wires, and then you have a neutral. That's the white wire. They call it a neutral wire, which I still to this day, I'm not sure what a neutral wire is. Everybody tells me it's just another ground. I don't think I believe that, but anyway, whatever. The neutral wire came totally loose, and I don't even know how that happened. The screws and things were in there, but the neutral wire was just there. So I put all that back together, tightened it up really good, and plugged it back into the camper, went all the way to North Dakota, came all the way home. By the way, that's like 3,500 mile trip. And if you've seen that video about going up there, coming home, it was a huge heat wave coming home. I mean, it was very, very hot. And I was trying to go around that heat wave, but you can't get around all of it. But anyway, got all the way back to Florida, no problem, everything worked right, and that made me wonder. I wonder if that has been my problem all along, that somehow that neutral wire was causing the generator to quit running. You know, I don't know. I'm not a mechanic on this stuff. But anyway, since I fixed that neutral wire, so far, knock on wood, everything's been working perfect. But I do appreciate your information. This is information that I have seen, and I know it does happen to other people, but I don't think in this situation that any of that was my problem. I thought at one point that I was going to put an electric fuel pump in line, thinking that somewhere between the fuel tank on the vehicle and the generator that the line itself may have collapsed. That happens. Maybe it's got some debris inside the gas tank and it's kind of clogging the end of it up. Because I had my portable air compressor, and if push come to shove, I was going to shove an air line up in that gas line. I was going to blow air all the way back to the gas tank to blow it out. So, but I didn't need to do any of that either. So right now I think we're okay. The portable generator's working okay. Knock on wood, because you know how these RVs are. Today they run great, tomorrow something don't work. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And by the way, Greenwood, I know you well. We used to go to shopping center down there off of 31, and a lot of restaurants down there. I spent some time down there. I kind of miss the Indianapolis area, really, in some ways.
Hey, Skip, another good show. You might want to look into Seacoast Bank, not only their ratings, which are deplorable, but what a shock. The developer is involved with this company, even though they sold it to this company. They're involved. It's a public company, and wouldn't you know it, they're involved. And this company is horrible as far as a bank goes. You might want to do the research. See ya.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know when you left that message. When did you leave that message? You left that message October the 18th. I don't get a whole lot of phone calls. That's why I don't do these every week and every week and every week. So I do them when I can do them, when I get enough to make a little bit of a show out of it. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I don't know on the insides and outsides. I just report the news. I don't do the news. Well, let me see if I can say this right. I don't get in my car. I don't have a film crew. I don't go out and interview people, knocking on doors to find out information. I'm just reading you the news. The news has already been reported. It's in the newspapers. Pictures are in the newspapers. People on the internet have the news. I steal the news from everywhere and try to make a little bit of a show of it and report it to people that don't live here that may not know what's going on, because I still say to this day, no matter what it is, if it concerns the villages, I want some people to know, even though a lot of people don't like things that I talk about, because if you're going to spend $500,000 here, which is very foreseeable, people could spend $100 million and more on anything around here. Prices keep going up. That you need to know this stuff before you pluck down that money. I just don't want to see you buy something and spend that kind of money on it with the bond and property tax, and all this other stuff that goes along with it. And then 2 years from now, I go, man, I didn't know this, or I'd never bought here, or I didn't know that, or I'd have never bought here. So that's all I'm trying to do, is I'm just trying to let you know about all the aspects here. So you tell me, you always report the bad stuff, you never report the good stuff. You can get good stuff anywhere. Those are the people out there using it for clickbait. You guys fall for that clickbait. So go watch it, because I'm going to report some of the bad, because nobody else seems to be doing that. And you need to know all the good and all the bad to come up to a proper decision for your golden years. And do you want to spend the money to be here? That's all I'm doing.
Hey, Skip. This is Dwayne in Lexington, Live Christian Channel. I just wanted to leave a message on your number. And I wanted to tell you something. I don't say this to everybody, Skip. And if I didn't like you, I wouldn't say it. Skip, you suck. Buddy, you rock. And Sue, happy birthday. I hope you had a great day. I watched the video, and it looked like a lot of fun. I hope to meet you all someday. So take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Dwayne. He's been a long-time supporter of my channel. He's a Patreon member also. I don't know if he's on Discord or not. I've sent him invitations for Discord several times. I think a lot of people, I don't know what happens on your end when you click on the Discord link. I don't know what happens after that. But I think some people are just having trouble getting on Discord. Only thing I can tell people is if I send you a link, I've been told by several people, if you download the Discord app first, it makes signing on so much easier. And I always remind people that when I send you a link, 7 days later from the day that I sent you that link, it automatically expires. It will not work. You have to ask for another one. So try to get on right away. But yeah, you should get on Discord, Dwayne, and come on down. I tried to get a hold of you a couple of times, I think. Went up to Fort Wayne with Scooter. He lives up in that area. And I came through your area. I stopped at that Buc-ee's just south of your area. And maybe that's when I was coming home. I can't remember, but I stopped there at that Buc-ee's for a while, took a nap. And anyway, I tried to call you to see if you wanted to come over to Buc-ee's, or I don't know where you live from Buc-ee's, but anyway, I'd see if you wanted to come down there real quick. And there was one other time I called. I didn't leave a message, but I called and you didn't answer, so I just moved on. But yeah, anytime you get down to Florida, man, get a hold of me. No problem. And thanks for the "you suck." A lot of people out there, I don't think they know what that means. They're not in on the joke. It's an inside joke. Skip, you suck. I love it. So I appreciate it. I'm going to get out here and say, have a great day. This is the day before Thanksgiving. You and your family have a great holiday. Hold them close. They won't be there forever. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.